Welcome to Impact Farming, where we introduce you to the people and ideas that will have a massive impact on your farming operation. Brought to you by Farm Marketer. Sit down, start the engine, and let's roll with today's show.
With an ever-increasing demand for potassium due to increasing crop yields, there is a need for a better source of potassium with improved availability and uptake potential. Alpine K-Tech is the most plant-available form of potassium and is able to enter the plant quickly and easily. As a foliar application, K-Tech is tank mixable with many crop protection products, thereby increasing the grower's resource use efficiency. K-Tech offers balanced fertility and an added energy source for the plant. The latest development of premium crop nutrition is doing a lot more with a lot less for your crops. Learn more at www.alpinepfl.com.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Impact Farming Show. On today's episode we have, we don't have a guest today. You guys have me, Tracy Brunet, for my first solo episode. So welcome to today's show. Welcome to my office and let's dive in. So if I was to ask you guys, what is your net worth? Would you know down to the dollar? Couple $100, couple $1,000, tens of thousands of dollars? If not, no worries. That is what today's episode is about. Before we dive into net worth and what it is, how to calculate it, I want to chit-chat a little bit why I do this show. I started the Impact Farming Show in August of 2018 to bring farmers the people and ideas that will impact their farming operation. I am the owner and CEO of farmmarketer.com, one of the leading ag media websites in Canadian agriculture. We offer news, weather, commodities, links, events, real estate, and the Impact Farming Show. So what our goal as a media platform is, we are dedicated to bringing Canadian farmers the information they need to manage and grow their farming operation. And I am a farmer and a business owner, and I am so very passionate about helping other farmers and business owners succeed. There are so many production-related concerns for farmers, and there are so many ways that we can optimize and streamline our farm business so that we can succeed. And my goal with the show is to bring all the greatest minds in agriculture onto the episodes so they can share the best of what they know with you guys. But today I wanted to do a solo episode because all those great minds coming onto the show, I know for myself, can sometimes be intimidating. And we might tend to say, well, I'm not a financial consultant. I'm not an accountant. I don't know how to do these things. But I bring them on because they share the ideas, and what I want them to do is drop that gold nugget to give you guys the different areas, thoughts, and ideas to look into to help maximize your farming operation. But at the end of the day, us as farmers, we are the business owner, and you guys are bright minds. Amazing minds. Some of the best farmers in the world watch this show, and it is in our hands to make sure that we have the strongest business when it comes to production and our farm business operation. And so many of you out there already use these tools, but one of the things that concerned me, to be honest, I talked to all of these farm advisors, the best and the brightest right across Canada, and they work with the best and the brightest as clients. And the disturbing thing that I hear them say over and over again is that many farmers still do not use the main key financial tools that will help them really grow, optimize, and succeed in their farming operation. So what are those tools? Well, I just had Terry Betker on for a few episodes talking about setting your farm business up for success and the keys to farm success. And those were financials. And they are so key. When I look at when I started building this business, I didn't work with financials, and I was fortunate to have a great mentor that walked me through and taught me how to use balance sheets, income and expense statements, and different AR receivable type documents, cash flow documents. And one of the things that I implemented on my own was net worth statement. And I must say it is one of the easiest tools to get started with. And I would almost say one of the most important. It's kind of hard to say. They're all important. But you know what? With everything going on in the world right now, we have trade wars, we have droughts, flooding. Farmers are really being attacked almost, it seems, by everybody and everything, whether it's Mother Nature, politics, environment, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it, activists. Whatever it is, we are just being attacked from every angle. And you know what? I truly believe that farmers are the original entrepreneurs, and without us, people can't eat. And at the end of the day, as business owners, it comes back on us to know our numbers and to fully know our numbers and be able to run the tightest, strongest financial operation that we can. I've been listening to so many great economists, JP Gervais at an event I attended the other day, and with everything going on, from the sounds of it, our farm income is flattening out, and we are, like I said, facing trade wars and all kinds of crazy things. All the while, our cost of production, our cost of all our inputs are going up. So if our revenue's flattening out and our cost of producing our product is going up, our margins are getting thinner and thinner and thinner. So what that means is, as producers, we need to sharpen that pencil. And I know you guys know that. And it's really on us. When it gets a little bit tighter, we need to make sure that we are running a very strong financial operation so that we can continue to feed the world today, tomorrow, and into the future. So that's a little bit about me and what I am so passionate about. So if you listen to our episodes and you see me on social media and you wonder why in the world I am so passionate about farm business, that is why. I think we are some of the best business people out there, and we owe it to ourselves and our future generations to make sure that we have a great farming operation. So let's dive into net worth. It is one of the simplest financial documents, and that's why I wanted to come on here, truly. I didn't want to have one of my great experts come on the show and chat with you. I wanted to do this one-on-one and have a conversation with you guys. When I'm talking to our guests, sometimes I get so wrapped up in our interview that I don't get a chance to chat with you one-on-one, and it is so fun to do that. So again, net worth. Do you guys know what that is? Let's dive into it. It is really simple, and I'm excited to share this with you. It's kind of fun. And I'm not even a numbers geek. Not at all. So let's chat about net worth. So really simple. It is your assets minus your liabilities. And that is what your net worth is. So it is what you own minus what you owe for it. At the end of the day, that leaves you with your net worth. And that number is really, really important for a few different reasons. Number one, you'll notice that when you're talking to bankers, they ask you, well, actually, you know what? Honestly and surprisingly, not often or all the time do they ask. And you'll notice, though, when you're talking to your banker, whether it's on the phone or in person, if they start asking you what you have for livestock, crops in the bin, liabilities, they're actually going through and doing a net worth statement for you. Whether you know it or not, if they're asking you those questions, that's what they're doing. Behind the scenes, they're going to be filling out a net worth statement for you. So as a producer, one of the great things we can do is have this. I think having a net worth statement that's updated annually as a bare minimum, and that's probably enough, that's a crucial part of our business. So number one, really, at the end of the day, it acts as a report card. So after a whole year goes by, where are we at financially in terms of our assets minus our liabilities? And one, like I said, it gives us our report card for the year. Number two, it shows us the financial health of our business. And number three, like I said, anytime we're going to ask the bankers for money, they want to know what our net worth statement is. So if we don't have it and present it to them, they're going to be creating it. And having it and producing it when we go to ask for money not only gives bankers more confidence in us as business people, and it also speeds up the loan approval process. Instead of them having to go through and update their document among all the millions of things bankers have to do, if we can just email them, print it off, and give them the statement, wow. Bankers are just blown away. And again, the confidence level goes up in us as business people, and it makes their job easier. So those are some of the reasons that you want to have a net worth statement as a farmer. So what is included? I have a nice 5-page sheet here, and it's from Farm Credit Canada. At the end of this episode, I'm going to include this document as show notes to give to you guys. It is actually a document that you can save to your computer and complete this every year, and it will walk you through what they want to know in terms of your assets and liabilities. And then it's pretty slick. At the end of it, it actually gives you all the math done for you. So I don't use this one. I do it a harder, simpler way, whatever you want to say. You don't need anything fancy, and that's what I want to encourage farmers, and that's why I'm doing this episode. You don't need to be an accountant, controller of a business. This is simple stuff, guys. And we actually don't need any fancy templates like this. My net worth statement that I do is a simple Excel spreadsheet. And it adds up all my assets and all the liabilities, and at the end it's a simple number. That one, subtract the liabilities, you get your net worth. But I do like this, and it breaks it out the way a banker would like to see it. So I'm going to include this one as our show notes, free to you guys, and you can download it at the end of this episode. But prime example here at the beginning, it talks about current assets, your accounts receivable, it talks about crop, feed, and livestock on hand, purchase feed and farm supplies. If you have your hay, if you're a livestock producer, it's going to ask you about your market livestock, and then you can, in a separate section, include your cows and your bulls. And then that gets you some of your assets. It'll talk to you about any bonds, investments you have off the farm, and equipment, vehicles, real estate, and quota, and other term assets. So it's pretty simple. You just go through, fill this out, and then you move into the liabilities. What do you own? What do you owe on everything you own up here? So what's nice about it is if you do it in a logical manner, you can just go through and go, okay, tractor, you have it on that line item, you're going to include it. You can quickly go look up how much you owe on that tractor, and then you put it in. So it's really, really quite simple. And then, like I said at the end, the nice thing about Farm Credit Canada's spreadsheet net worth statement here that I'm going to politely borrow, and I know they won't mind. it does the math at the end, and it will actually even start to do some of the important ratios. And if you get really, really keen, I wouldn't worry about calculating your ratios. At the end of the day, that's what bankers do for you. Number one step is to fill this out. And it is just so easy. It's as easy as that, guys. And the neat thing about it is you can save it to your computer, put the year, and then next year at the same time, you can open it up, save another copy. Don't save over your old one, because it's nice to actually look year to year the progress that you're making, hopefully. So you can go in, and I like to do it about this time of year. We are mid-February right now, and this is when a lot of the lenders tend to put their statements out. So my cue, when I get my annual statement from MASC, our Manitoba Agriculture Service Corporation here, I go through and take all of our loans and what's been paid off, and I update it on the net worth statement. So then once a year, it's updated. As soon as I get those statements in the mail, or I am printing them off to send them to the accountant, that is my mental prompt to go in and update it. Doesn't matter if I'm going to the bank or asking anybody for any money. That's actually not my number one goal when I have my net worth. To me, this is a report card. And my goal is to make sure that we are going in the right direction so that our net worth is growing. And again, obviously, if you are expanding your farm operation, sometimes you have a little bit of movement each way. But at the end of the day, to me, I can use two analogies on a net worth statement. Number one is a bit of a roadmap. If you don't know where you are going, how are you going to get there? So if you want to build a strong financial operation, and that means you have a strong net worth where you can borrow and expand down the line, you need to have a roadmap of how to get there. And to me, this is black and white. Numbers don't lie, for good or bad. They don't lie. And number two, it's like the finished puzzle. I'm not a puzzle person, but this analogy came to me. So if you want to see what the finished puzzle looks like, that is your completed net worth statement. And with that, you can put all the pieces in here and get the finished product. So it's really a roadmap. And at the end of the day, to me, every farmer should know this, because this is how we make strong financial decisions. Bankers are amazing. They're smart individuals. They have our best interests in mind, but it surprises me how many people walk into a lender's office and ask for money without knowing their big financial picture. And at the end of the day, I truly believe that we should not borrow money just because we can get money. We need to know that it's the right thing for our operation and that it will give us the right income down the line. Right income, right result. So that was my number one tip. Update it annually. And if you do that, very little of it actually changes. If you sell a tractor and buy a new one, you can update it. But I find year to year, you're just going through and updating the results. You pay down a loan, so then your liability on each of those items goes down, down, down. So it's really quite simple. Getting it all together is probably the biggest part of this, but you do it once, and then from there it's annual small updates. So tip number one, put it together, update it annually. And then number two, this is important. Don't overinflate your numbers, because number one, the bankers are going to catch this anyways. They all lend to a certain price per acre in their area that they know, or if it's cattle, they're going to assign, let's say, $1,700 but on the market, you could probably sell them for $3,000. The goal of your net worth statement is not to overinflate it to try and make yourself look good. Really, the goal that a banker wants with this, they want to know if they sold off what you own, could it cover your liabilities? So they always go very conservative in their numbers. So I have found when I've chatted with bankers, and let's say my purebred cattle are on here, and let's say they're $3,500 a piece, that's what I could get selling them off the yard. They're not necessarily going to assign that value to the cattle on this sheet, because for them, if something went bad on your operation, this is not fun, but if something went bad on your operation and they had to do a fire sale to pay off your debts, they would probably sell it at the auction mart and get a commercial animal price. So if I'm putting $3,000 as the value for my cattle, they might give you $1,700. So don't overinflate, because it's dangerous, and it's dangerous to work off overinflated numbers. And also your banker will correct it anyways. So go on a conservative number, and that makes sure that if the price of cattle do drop, then your net worth is not just bouncing around because of value changes. So that's what I want to chat with you guys about. Again, to me as a business owner, whether it's farm marketer or on our farm, financial data is so powerful. Once you guys have this, you know if you are in the red or the black. And if I'm not going to give financial advice because I am not a financial consultant, but at the end of the day, if this is not a pretty picture, you can use this as a starting place to work to a stronger farming operation financially. And at the end of the day, if you get really keen and get this done, there are 5 to 6 key ratios that you would want to calculate as a business owner. And when you have your net worth statement done, this is a good start to it. So start with your net worth. If you don't already have one, I challenge you guys. If this is one and the only thing you do for 2020, get your net worth statement done. It's easy, it's empowering, it's enlightening, and you know what? When you are confident on your numbers, you can make solid business decisions. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking to you today one-on-one, and please let me know, guys. If you are having any troubles, just shoot me a quick email, message me, and I'll gladly help you out. And we have some great minds connected to the Impact Farming Show that are always willing to help out as well. So that being said, thank you guys for joining us. And at the end here, in the show notes for this episode, we are going to include an explainer sheet about net worth to review the ideas that I just shared with you guys. It's always nice to have a one-pager, and it explains it, walks you through everything to refresh the memory. And most importantly, I'm going to give you guys the FCC net worth template. Download that. Here's a quick trick though. When you open it up in your browser, don't start filling it out right there. Open it up and then save it to your computer. Close out and go find that document, because I actually tested it, and if you open it in your browser, it doesn't automatically populate. That'll be your first sign that you haven't saved it to your computer. But once you go in, save it, you'll notice when you open it up, the cells become blue. And then as you start to add values, it all starts to populate. So I hope you guys enjoy. And at the end of the day, I wanted to share this thought with you guys. Farmers are amazing. We are the original entrepreneurs. We feed the world. It's our farm, our legacy. Let's build it to last. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Bye, guys.
You've been listening to Impact Farming. For more great episodes and articles designed to help you manage and grow your farming operation, head on over to farmmarketer.com. Don't forget to sign up while you're there. We will see you on the next episode.